for this week's Chalk Talk, sponsored by the Basketball Coaches Association of Michigan, is Kevin Richards. He is the head girls basketball coach at Grosse Pointe South. He is a BCAM board member. Welcome to Hangtime, Coach.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys having me on.
So I want to ask you about your experience last summer. You took a 15-under boys basketball team to an AAU National Championship. Your son Carter was on the team. That must have been pretty amazing to have your son on the team.
It was fun. I hadn't coached him, and with COVID, I had coached him all the way through, and we traveled throughout the country while he was in middle school, and obviously 8th grade shut down, and he played varsity basketball as a freshman, but then ended up getting hurt and only played in the first 3 games, and it was such a short season. So, it was nice that he had that season, and it was a lot of fun coaching him and a lot of his teammates.
And the NBA's LaMelo Ball sponsored the team, right?
Yeah, he sponsored us last year. It was with the help of former UAD Titan star and former NBA star Jermaine Jackson. With his help, we were able to have that team last year, so it was a lot of fun. It's a good experience.
Coach, I mean, that's sweet to get LaMelo Ball to sponsor your team. I want to know, was there any big baller brand, swag coming your guys' way?
There was no big baller brand, but we did have J. Cole Dreamer shoes, and we had some nice Puma 1 of 1 shorts, uniforms. So they were very very kind.
That's awesome, Coach. And you've been a coach for many years now.
Yeah.
When did you think that your love of the game, for the game of basketball, came from? Where did it start?
Really started with my dad. My father growing up, I just kind of tagged along. He wasn't a coach, but, he was always playing pickup basketball 3-4 days a week. So kind of started there. I had a great mentor my senior year, Tom Felco, who's actually got me involved in BCAM. He is also a board member. He was my varsity basketball coach at Marysville, and he inspired me to go into education and be a teacher. And, I went into education so I could coach basketball.
Coach, can you give us a little insight, too, on how your basketball coaching journey started to now?
Well, first of all, I played basketball at a community college, St. Clair Community College, and then the assistant coach at that time, Kip Jones, took a job at Coleman High School, and he was the varsity basketball coach at Coleman High School. So I decided to go up to Central Michigan, which, it was probably about a 30-minute commute when I was a student, and I started as his assistant for a season. And then I started coaching varsity girls basketball at Coleman. I did that for 2 years, and I also during those seasons, when the seasons were opposite, I coached JV boys as well. So I was able to coach while I was a student. I was 21 years old. Thought I knew everything, and I knew nothing. And that kind of got me in coaching. I came back. A friend of mine, Jay Seletsky, he's now still the boys coach at L'Anse Creuse North, got me involved with his program. I was coaching JV boys and varsity girls there. I did that for four years. And then the past 15, I've been at Grosse Pointe South.
So we're talking with Grosse Pointe South's girls basketball coach and BCAM board member, Kevin Richards. I understand you're the BCAM Clinic co-chairman. Can you talk about what those events are like and some of the speakers you've lined up in the past?
Oh, wow. I have a lot of people helping me. I kind of handle a lot of the coaches with some help, and Coach Greg Campy at Oakland has been great help. Dennis Hopkins, who I assist. He does a lot of the behind-the-scenes hotel dinners, banquet organization. But I kind of form the lineups. We try to have a variety of speakers. In the past, Tom Izzo is always willing to speak. This past year, Juwan Howard spoke for the first time in Michigan. We've had Bob Huggins. We've had Nate Oates, who's former high school coach at Romulus, won a couple state titles there, and now he's at Alabama. We've had Porter Moser now at Oklahoma that took Loyola to the Final Four. So we get coaches from all over the country to come in. Kim Barnes-Arico is always a great participant. She's always there. If I need somebody, I can really count on her. So we've had some great in-state coaches speak. So we try to have anywhere between 10 to 12 coaches, on a Saturday and Sunday, and a lot of the local NAIA schools do a great job. We've had Rochester, we've had Spring Arbor, so we've had some really good NAIA schools that come and do a lot of the demo work.
Hey, well, we'll have to get LTU over there soon.
Yeah,
too.
no, and we've had them with our shoot away. We've had them come and do a lot of our shooting demonstrations. So we've had Lawrence Tech there for sure.
Good. Glad to hear it. As a coach, each week we also ask if you guys have some advice that you'd like to share to young coaches getting in the game and getting out there. And I know you've had teams that made runs all the way to the state finals, and then there's been, of course, seasons where it's a struggle and it's not that same way. And this has been kind of a tough start for your Grosse Pointe South team. And can you talk about how you go about trying to keep a team motivated in this type of year?
It's hard, no question. We had a really good team last year. We had some unfortunate injuries where we thought we really could have, got back to the Breslin Center last year. But we had some unfortunate injuries, but we had an experienced team. But we lost 8 out of 10 kids, so it's definitely a rebuilding year for us. And I think the biggest thing is, especially as an early coach, and I made this mistake too. I consumed myself with winning and losing, and as I guess I matured. I still like to think I'm young, but I guess I got a lot of gray hair now, and but I think the biggest thing is, are we competing? Are we improving? And I think it's important, probably more so than ever right now, is to understand the athletes that we're coaching and develop relationships. I don't have many kids on my team right now that are looking to play at another level. Where in years past, some years we've sent 6-7 kids, on, and basketball is not the end all be all for a lot of my players right now, and I realize that. So I want to make it a positive experience. I want to teach them, and we want to develop relationships where they're happy to come back and visit and be part of our program for future years.
You talk about a rebuilding year. How do you find a leader within all of that to lead your team?
Well, I'm very fortunate. I'm coaching my daughter right now, and she's been very invested, and she's a tremendous leader. Unfortunately, last year she was one of our top players, and she went down with a ACL injury, and she worked extremely hard to come back. She made it back in 6.5 months, and I think a lot of people, they look to her because she's confident and she's been there. She's a 4-year basketball player, with aspirations of playing in college, and she's getting healthier, and I think other people are getting more confident, and so I'm very lucky to have someone like that's helped out. I have a great staff with me. I'd probably say, we probably have one of the top I mean, we could probably beat most staffs in the state. Actually, I have a lot of my former players. Caitlin Moore, who was an all-state player for me, and she led us to the state finals her senior year in 2012, is my top assistant. Chloe Schreberneck played at Wayne State. She was an all-state player for me. I have a Gatorade Player of the Year, Sierra Rice, who was first-team all-state and was, as a freshman and sophomore, helped lead us to the state finals. So I have, 3 other people in it, and I think it's important, coaching young women that I have good role models like them around, because they do a lot of the talking and coaching in practice. Even though a lot of times you hear my voice, they have the voices, and talking to the players individually, or we're instructing and what they should do here, what they should be looking for in a certain situation. They've been a big help, especially with such a inexperienced team.
Yeah, that's great, Coach. So BCAM has introduced and officially launched the One Team campaign in an effort to promote unity among teams, schools, and communities. It is so important. What are some things you've done already or will do, whether it's coming together at games or a community activity, to promote unity on the court and respect for each other?
I think the biggest thing, and we're looking to implement it, and I'm talking to our athletic director. I like, just the simple things. I know everybody has their own, way of doing the national anthem, but at the end of the day, after having a year that was, there was so many distractions last year, and are we going to, we're lucky to be there. And, each day that we play, we've had so many interruptions even this year, but each day we're together, I really see as things get better, I see a lot more of those things taking off. So, I look for doing something pregame for sure. I know, in the past with certain teams, went up to St. Ignace. We've had dinner with their team in the past, and I would like to do some of that. But I definitely think it's a good program, and it's something that I think us coaches need to continue to push, because like I said, at the end of the day, it's about the girls and the athletes, the boys that are playing. We're there to, like I said before, provide a great experience for them.
Coach, I also have a segment that I've been doing each week on our Michigan Hangtime's women's basketball show. It's my little hot topic each week. I wanted to ask your opinion on a couple of these.
Okay.
So the first week I introduced the idea. I know some teams have already kind of started trying to implement it. Shot clock. What do you think in the world of high school basketball?
I think, I think that's the next step. I think we need to, I think, I'm excited about the possibility of us moving that way. Are there going to be hiccups? And, there's a lot of people that don't like change, but I think eventually, I think it's going to help with decision making, even though I think early on, it could be a struggle for some teams and even some coaches, but I think it could end up speeding up the game. I like I said, I think it's going to teach players to make quicker decisions, and I think in the long run, I think it'll be beneficial to the game. I know, and I don't think it's going as bad as what people think. With taking my son's team and playing in the junior NBA and other tournaments, throughout middle school. I mean, we played with a 24-second shot clock, and it wasn't, we didn't, it's a fast game, but I didn't really notice that much difference.
Right.
And,
I mean, at the end of the day, it's just getting the athletes pretty much ready for that next level of play. That's what happens at the next level. So
yes. So, but I think what the timing that they're talking about, I don't see having a huge impact on the game. Maybe at the end of quarters and stuff. But I think that'll be fun for coaches that like X's and O's and can find quick shots and ways to get the shot off. So
my favorite part is I'm hoping that it eliminates keep away basketball. At the end of the game, I want to see the defensive team who's down still have a chance at winning the game.
Yeah, no question. And
the other one, Coach, sorry about that.
Go ahead.
I had one more for you. This one's a little more controversial. I know you said some people don't like change. This one's a little bit more on that side. Okay. What do you think about lowering the women's rim?
I've never thought of it, actually.
Really? Okay.
I don't think it needs to be done. I don't think it needs to be done many times. That I think the girls' game is a fundamental game.
Fundamental,
yep. And we're I know myself and a lot of other coaches that really emphasize shooting the ball, and I would like to see common throughout all of basketball. The rules. Even with I know on the men's side in college, they still have two halves.
Yeah.
Where every other game in basketball is 4 quarters. The women's moved to it a number of years ago, and I think that's helped. With the bonus, wiping fouls. I think those are some rules that we need to look at. But like I said, I don't think lowering the rims. I don't see an advantage at that. But that's just me.
Hey, no worries. I wanted your opinion, so I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Coach Richards, thanks again for all you do for basketball. We want to wish you a good luck this season.
I appreciate it. Thank you for having me on. And anytime you need something, feel free to give me a call. Like I said, I'd love to come on. I love to talk basketball. I love what State Champs does for BCAM, and hopefully you'll have me back on.
Absolutely. Thank you, Coach.
Next time, maybe you can bring LaMelo with you.
Yeah. All right. Sounds good. Take care.
Thanks, Coach. See ya.